Hello dearies, it's Seiji and today I will be talking about some of the books that I recently bought. So yeah, the first one is It's Not Okay to Feel Blue and Other Lies. This is curated by Scarlett Curtis, the same person who also curated Feminists Don't Wear Pink and Other Lies. This is a collection of essays written by inspirational people who open up about their mental health. So back in July I was able to find a sample at Yelp of this book and I read a couple of essays such as the one by Emma Thompson and I really enjoyed it. I found it so refreshing. There's still so much stigma around mental health, so it's amazing to see these type of books coming up now. Some of the essays I'm really looking forward to reading are those by Candice Carty-Williams, Emilia Clarke, James Blake and Matt Hay. And then I also got Ninth House by Leigh Bardugo. I think most of you people know already about this book because there's been a lot of hype about it, a lot of people have been talking about it. This story follows Galaxy, or Alex Stern, one of the most unlikely freshmen of Yale. She's a high school dropout and the sole survivor of a horrific event. Remarkably, she gets offered a free ride to Yale, but she is tasked with monitoring the mysterious activities of the secret societies that are there. Alex, however, quickly finds out that these societies turn out to be way more sinister and extraordinary than anyone ever imagined. They tamper with forbidden magic, raise the dead, and even prey on the living. I actually started reading this during my exams, but unfortunately I didn't have enough time to really get through everything. But I read the first 50 pages and it's so dark and crazy and yeah, it's just been incredibly fun. I say that about people dying, but then again, I love horror. Also, the book was blurbed by Stephen King. He said it was impossible to put down, which is high praise from the king. Then another dark fantasy book that I recently bought, Gideon the Ninth. The book itself says that Tamsin Muir's Gideon the Ninth unveils a solar system of swordplay, cutthroat politics, and lesbian necromancers. Her characters leap off the page, as skillfully animated as arcane revenants. The result is a heart-pounding epic science fantasy. This book is about Gideon, who was brought up by unfriendly ossifying nuns, ancient retainers, and countless of skeletons. She is done with a life of servitude and afterlife as a reanimated corpse, so she packs all of her stuff and is ready to abandon it all. Her childhood nemesis, however, won't let her leave without a service. I, for the life of me, cannot pronounce this name. Harrowhawk Nona Gesimus, Reverend Daughter of the Ninth House, has been summoned into action. The Emperor has invited all the heirs to his loyal houses to a trial of wits and skill. A deadly trial. If Harrow succeeds, she will become an immortal servant of the resurrection. But of course, no necromancer can ascend without their cavalier. Without Gideon's sword, Harrow will fail and the Ninth House will die. But of course, some things are better left dead. Then I also got The Last True Poets of the Sea by Julia Drake, and this is a story about a girl called Violet and her younger brother Sam. When the Lyric sank off the coast of Maine, Violet's great-great-grandmother did not drown like the rest of the passengers. Instead, she survived. She persevered and created the town called Lyric, the place Violet and Sam visit every single summer. Violet is a funny, tall and musical girl who can't stop partying with the wrong people. Sam himself is both brilliant and sensitive. Then on one beautiful summer day, he decides to take his own life. Violet gets shipped back to Lyric while her brother receives treatment. There, Violet is haunted by her family's missing piece, the shipwreck that she and her brother had always dreamt of finding. Violet decides to embark on a journey to find the Lyric, and whether or not she finds it, this voyage might be the start of something like survival. Then last but not least, My Life as an Ice Cream Sandwich by Ibiza Boy, and I love what the back says, to boldly go where no girl has gone before. This book is set in the summer of 1984 and follows a girl called Ebony Grace Norfleet. Ebony Grace has to leave her home in Huntsville, Alabama to stay in Harlem with her father while her mother takes care of issues that have arisen at her grandfather's. Jeremiah Norfleet was one of the first black engineers to integrate NASA in the 1960s. Ever since she's lived with him, he has nurtured her love for space and science fiction. So even as she struggled to make friends, she always had her grandfather and the imaginary worlds they created together. New York, however, is different. Hip-hop, graffiti, breakdancing, double dutch. Harlem is a wild and bewildering place for a country girl like Ebony Grace. And so her first reaction is to retreat back into her imagination. But slowly she realizes that Harlem also has a place for a girl whose eyes are always trained at the stars. Doesn't that sound amazing? I mean, come on, science fiction, space, NASA. This is so funny, I can even show you. I'm actually wearing right now a NASA t-shirt. I don't know, I'm a mathematician. I've always loved astronomy and physics, and I would love to someday work for a space agency. Those were all of the books that I wanted to talk about. Please do let me know if there are any that really stoked your enthusiasm. Thank you very much for watching. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you in the next video.